All right, we didn't do X's and Hoges the last 2 weeks. The Bears lost both games. I got both of my picks wrong. So we all learn and get better as we go into the postseason, and we're not going to let that happen again. Good news is last time we did it, the Packers were already on the board. So we didn't have to change a whole lot, although there are some new guys coming back that were injured. We're going to break it all down. Here we go. Wild card round. We're actually talking about it. Bears and Packers. Should be a lot of fun. Saturday night, 7:05 kickoff on Prime Video. If you're in the Chicago area, you can watch the game on Fox 32. Packers are favored by 1 point, which is interesting because last time they played, it was a pick-em and the Bears won. 45.5 is the over-under. Last time it was 46, so very similar matchup. And with the one exception being the Packers have lost 4 games in a row. Bears have lost 2 in a row, so neither of these teams are really feeling great about themselves coming in the playoffs. Of course, you know all this stuff already. Matt LaFleur is their head coach. Adam Stenavich, the OC. Jeff Hafley, maybe on his way out to get a head coaching job, is the defensive coordinator, although he did the whole thing at the press conference. He slammed the podium. He's like, I'll talk to you guys next week because we're going to win. Maybe bulletin board material. Rich Bisaccia is their special teams coordinator. We got 2 good offenses and 2 defenses going in the wrong direction for slightly different reasons. I want to actually talk this week because I think this is how the decisions in this game have to go, by talking Bears defense first against the Packers offense, because not to be all doom and gloom, this isn't a great matchup, okay? You got an offense that is really good throwing the ball deep against a defense that is not really good defending the ball deep. We saw this in the first matchup, especially when Christian Watson was healthy. Remember the second matchup, he was kind of banged up and a little bit limited, but this is as healthy as the Packers have been the last couple months. They sat their starters last week. Zach Tom at right tackle is expected to be back. He missed the last matchup against the Bears. On the flip side, the Bears defense, as healthy as it's probably going to get at this point, hoping Kyler Gordon comes off of IR. But Jalen Johnson said yesterday, I'm really just not going to be myself until next season, even though he's basically back to playing full time. Bears are going to have to live with what they have here. And we're talking Jalen Johnson not 100%. I don't think TJ Edwards is 100%. I don't think Tremaine Edmonds is 100%. I don't think Kyler Gordon will be 100%. And obviously they have limitations here in the secondary running with these speedy Packers wide receivers. The reality is the Packers just have more speed on offense than the Bears do on defense. So how they play this game is going to be super interesting. Again, where this isn't a great matchup, as good as Jordan Love is, and the EPA numbers show this, when he gets pressured, his numbers drop quite a bit. The problem, of course, number 98 has not been consistent getting pressure. Austin Booker's, honestly, he's been better lately, but I don't know how much you can depend on him. This interior pressure too. I mean, all of these guys across the board need to step up and play really their best game of the season. I would say especially these linebackers in the middle too, because they've been somewhat slumping, and you've heard Lance Briggs talk about how they just got to commit to gaps and come downhill and play harder. So, do you do what you did the first time? You play more man, you kind of got beat up for it, however, you gave the offense the ball more. Or do you sit back, rely on turnovers and red zone defense where the Bears have been pretty good? You can go that route too, although you're not going to give your offense the ball. How this is handled by Dennis Allen and the coaching staff will be super interesting. I'm guessing it's going to be sort of a mix between the first 2 games. Where that brings us, though, is over here to the Bears offense, because if they're going to win this game, I think this is where it's got to be done. I'm really curious if Ben Johnson's tempted to take the ball if they win the coin toss and try to control the clock, get off to a lead, but like a long, productive first drive would go a long way in winning this football game. And, you know, we'll start with the running game, and then I want to talk a little bit about what's missing here offensively. Good news is Rome Odunze expected back. Same kind of question, though, on defense. Is he going to be 100%? Probably not. So how much can they really squeeze out of him? DJ Moore's dealing with a knee injury at the same time. So, hey, young guns got to step up. Luther Burden, I'm putting him on the board here officially. Like, let's just go. It's Luther Burden time. He's got to be the 3rd wide receiver and maybe one of the more productive players in this game. Same thing, 84, Colson Loveland. I know he's not technically a starter because Cole Kmet's still here, and Cole's having a great season as well. But 84, he's been awesome recently. Kyle Monangai, inside runs. This Packer defense is especially susceptible to inside runs. The Bears tend to run outside more, but they're actually really good at both. So inside runs will be key in this game as well. And just establishing the run game, wearing the Packers down. The more the Bears can have the ball in this game, the more they're going to be able to run the ball. I think that's really been the biggest thing that explains their dip in the running game lately, is probably just fewer plays, not being able to wear down the opponent as much in the last 2 games. That would go a long way. So, when it comes, I think this number here explains the Bears' offense and probably Ben Johnson's frustrations at the time the best. The Bears, from an EPA per dropback standpoint, 9th in the NFL. They've been very good. However, their success rate is actually 20th, which basically means when they do have a successful play, they're awesome. They're explosive. They're very dangerous. But they've had too many missed opportunities where they've either had drops or misses, errant throws, whatever it is, these missed opportunities where this just hasn't quite been a fully well-oiled machine throughout the season, except mainly that Eagles game, is really the difference between the good, better, best thing, getting to that best part, really playing their best offense, best football in January like they can. That's what they got to be able to do. This success rate number has to come up against the Packers on Saturday night if they want to win, because they just cannot, with the state of the Bears defense right now, this offense cannot afford to have missed opportunities. No drops, no mental errors like they had the other day against the Lions. They really have to play close to perfect. They're capable of doing it, but I really think that's what it's going to take to beat Green Bay on Saturday night. It's going to be fun. Cannot wait. We're going to have you covered the entire way. Bears, Packers, let's go.